Morecambe away stands out in my mind on New Year's Day. A poor performance. It was just one of those, sometimes when you just go to a match and everything just seems a little bit miserable about the game. The weather was poor, the pitch looked poor, the uh, the standard of football was poor. And then when Morecambe, it was 2-0 in the end, wasn't it? And there was just so many little aspects to the game. It was not the first time, but it was the first time really where it felt extremely toxic around Nigel. I won't repeat the chants that were directed from him, directed towards him. There was just, and then it was like the game as well where Brad Walker came on for about 2 or 3 minutes and then went down injured again. And he's just thought, it's just that everything went wrong that day. So that's one that stands out in my mind. The Accrington game, which everyone was calling a must win, and ended up being Nigel's last game. That would be another low point. I mean, the Walsall as well, the 5-1. That felt like. I mean, I don't want to list too many because ultimately they have stayed up, and I don't want to be too negative on a Tranmere podcast. But the yeah, there have been a couple, and I'm just happy that it didn't end like that. Let's say.
It certainly didn't end that way. Let's get on to the positive ones then. I am going to predict two of them that are going to be near the top of your list are Crewe and Accrington away. Let's start with Accrington away. An absolute reporter's nightmare, this game. You probably got your whatever 100-word report it is for the Echo written by half time. And then they get one back and they've got a consolation. And then they get a second and, Tranmere made a fight of it. And then in the 101st minute, you're thinking, blooming heck, I need to completely rewrite this report.
Matt, I'm going to disappoint you. I was on holiday for that game. And that was even more of a nightmare because I thought some of the games that I've sat through, some of the 0-0s and the disappointing defeats, and I missed the game of the season. But yeah, the Crewe game, of course, was one of the high points. It was a culmination of just the change in the feeling around the club since Crosby took over. It just felt like job done a little bit, and I loved seeing Crosby's reaction at full time. I don't know if he got caught on camera or if you would have seen it, but just to see the pure relief in his sort of scream when he turned around, fist pump into the crowd, it was just brilliant to see. Because other than that, I think he's come across as very sort of calm and cool and well measured, and so to see that. It was just a moment of relief, really. It was great, and the full time scenes. Other than that, another high. I suppose in terms of a result, sadly for Tranmere this year was 4-0 win over Chesterfield. It was just about second half performance, just absolutely ran all over Chesterfield, and it was a team, if you don't mind me saying, that was in great form at the time, pushing towards the playoffs. It was just that came out of nowhere a little bit as well. So a fantastic result there, and the last game of the season as well. It was nice to end in that way at Newport.
That Crewe game, one thing that I love about it is that we got to witness something that we don't see nearly enough at Prenton Park, and that is a not full but pretty packed and vocal Kop. And from your point of view as a neutral, I wonder what that was like to witness.
Oh, it was brilliant because, as a sort of been the overriding theme of this, it's not been a great 2 years, so I haven't really seen the Kop that full before. So to see that and to see how vocal it can be and the noise that was coming out of it, I had to keep reminding myself to watch the match at times because I just I couldn't help but stare at the Kop at times because it was brilliant to see. And again, as I said before, that just shows the sheer potential. And I'm sure that there's been plenty of matches in the past where the Kop has been full and the Prenton Park's been bouncing. But unfortunately, I haven't seen it too much. So as you say, that was brilliant to see on that day, and it was fantastic for my last home game to save the best till last, really, in terms of the atmosphere.
What was it like being around that dressing room area at the end of the game as well? Because that's obviously where all the post-match interviews are conducted. I imagine at times you'd witnessed some things that you would rather not witness or heard coming out of that dressing room? Because I can remember hearing them as well. So to have that high of that Crewe game, what was it like around there?
Of course, just as you'd imagine, just the sense of relief, really. Sort of the general feeling of job done. When you compare it to what has been unfortunately the norm over the last couple of years, it was just, yeah, it was a nice note to end on.